Hello, everybody. Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am here with a brand new project. Well, kind of a new project. So, back in late September, early October, I did a layout book. So, it is a 12 by 12 album with almost full size layouts. So, they're like 11 and 3/4 by 11 and 3/4 instead of a full 12 by 12. They are housed in one book without page protectors, so you can embellish and pop things up and give dimension and whatnot that you really can't do within a page protector in a traditional scrapbook album. But you're still getting your scrapbook layouts. So I have done a new one for you with the Say Cheese Classic Pooh collection from Simple Stories. This one is sold out lots of places. I apologize. I've been trying to get to a project with this paper since it came out in January, and I just have not had the time and whatnot to do it. Work has been insane because I do have a full time job in addition to doing this stuff. So, hopefully, you guys stocked up on this and you will have the elements available. I will link below in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description, what is available. The 12 by 12 collection kit is sold out at CCC, which is where I typically buy my papers and whatnot. But the collector's kit that has the 12 by 12 papers, the sticker sheet, and then it's got the page pieces, the chipboards, and I believe it's the floral bits included in the package is available, and that would work perfectly for this. I did keep it to one collection kit. I actually ended up not using the stickers, so you would have those as an option. I saved those because I've got another album coming with this collection that is about halfway designed, and I put it aside to do this because this one at the moment sounded like way more fun, and it was. Not that the other one's not, but that's just sometimes how my designing brain works. So, um, this is a full 12 by 12. The full free tutorial follows this. I will put links to what is available of this collection in the description box. It is an affiliate link because I do get a small commission if you use those links, and that does help me to keep my tutorials free, which of course I do want to do. But I kept it to one collection kit and like 5 sheets of the Color Vibe cardstock from Simple Stories that coordinates with it. So that would be their cardstock that's got like the dots on one side and solid on the other. And it's really nice stuff and I really like it. So I did like using that. So on the front here, we do have the breads, which are sold out. I apologize. Like I said, I bought these like back in the beginning. I do have a chipboard frame. Other than that, this is just the paper collection. So these are all popped up for some dimension. Again, this is 12 by 12 with a 2-inch spine. I did expand my hinge and my spine on this one from my original one, which had 1/4-inch gussets. So this one we do have 1/2 inch. So if you wanted to embellish more than what I have done throughout the project, you absolutely can. So on our front inside cover, we have a single page layout. I've used the tags and some twine that I had in my stash from CCC like forever ago. So I've got those in those photo mats as pockets. I've got some of the foam stickers here. I've used the Color Vibe, just a couple of strips of the Color Vibe, and then this is the mustard. So I used mustard, cornflower, avocado, and brick Color Vibe because those all coordinate flawlessly with this collection. We've got actually a 6 by 7 photo mat, but I've got that strip on there, so it essentially is a 5 by 7, and then 3 4 by 4 photo mats here. This one I didn't add extra photo mats. I did use the pattern paper as a large mat here that you could put a collage of pictures on. The base is, of course, the cornflower and the mustard Color Vibe. I've got a foam sticker, foam stickers up here. And then this is the journaling cut aparts and the 4x6 cut aparts from the collection that are just matted on the craft cardstock. I haven't used craft in a while, and I love the craft cardstock. It's amazing. Okay, next one is a 2-page layout. We've got 3 4x6 and 1 4x4 photo mats. We've got journaling cut aparts, normal cut aparts, one of the tag pieces just used as an embellishment, chipboards, chipboard, and then foam stickers here to decorate this one. Our next 2-page, we've got journaling cut-aparts, we've got chipboards, floral bits and pieces, and chipboards here. We've got 2 5x7 photo mats and then 5 3x3 photo mats for like smaller ones that you've cut down. Our next one, we've got 2 5x7s, we've got journaling spot over here, we've got cut-aparts, another little journaling spot, and then 2 of the tag pieces. This one is from the Big Bits. This one is from the Page Pieces. So if you get that collector's edition of this paper collection, you will have this one. You won't have this one, but there's like other like cute pieces in the Page Pieces that you could use in place of that. Our last 2 are both single page layouts. So this one I kept super simple. These are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 photo mats at the bottom here. Foam stickers, one of the chipboards off of the Brad's pack, foam sticker here. And on this one, I've got the tag sheet cut apart, twine added, and these are popped up to give it good dimension. I did not use photo mats. Again, I figured you could do a little photo collage here on top of that super cute pattern from the pattern paper. Foam stickers, and then another one of the chipboard pieces from the Brad's package. Back is unmatted, spine is unmatted just because, again, I was trying to keep it to one paper collection. I do have a little bit of paper left, not a whole lot. Essentially, I've got some of the 3x4 cut-aparts and a couple of 4x4 cut-aparts left. And that's it. Other than that, you've used the entire paper collection. So, yeah, so that is the project. Full tutorial starts next. As always, thank you for following along and watching my videos. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to be notified when I post new projects, and let's get into it. Okay, so for the base of our layout book, we are going to start this the same way we started the last one. So the other one that I did was the Doodle Bug, not Sweet and Spooky. What was the name of this one? Why am I drawing a blank? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's left me. It'll come back to me at some point. I don't know. So we're going to start this the same way. The only difference this time is I am doing this gusset a little bit bigger because I want to be able to layer things up more on my layouts than I would. But aside from that, we're going to do it the exact same way. So if you remember that one, we used black chipboard and we didn't wrap it or anything. We just kind of covered it. And so I started out thinking I was going to wrap this, but I'm using the craft cardstock, and when it's on top, yes, it's a different color. However, I didn't mean to pull that far over. If you're looking at the cut edge, it is the inside core of this chipboard is pretty much the same color as the cardstock. So I don't think we need to do a bunch of strips to wrap on this to cover up our edges. If we were using, navy or, red or something or some other color, or white for that matter, we would want to do strips and wrap the edges. If you want to do that, you absolutely can, but I don't think we need to. So I've got my 2 pieces of 12 by 12 chipboard. They are both covered with tape. We'll get back to those in a second. Let me grab my scoreboard. And I got a new scoreboard because this is the Spellbinders one, and it's open on the one side. So when you're using it to line up like your covers and, you've got one on, you're trying to line it up for the next one, this allows it to hang off and still let you use that edge. And this has like the straight edge here and this like straight up and down edge here and here, similar to the scoreboard, the ScorePal scoreboard that is. So it actually works quite nicely. I was really, I tape both of those? My God, I did. Okay. That was not what I meant to do. So I've got a piece of this. It's taped ready to go. That doesn't need to be. So hold on just one second. Let me cut a new piece. This is the other thing I'm trying out. So this is the We Are Comfort Craft trimmer. And I have a couple of friends that have this and absolutely love it and think it's the best ever. It is definitely like a weird, it's weird to get used to. It's got the same kind of, funky blade setup that the, whichever it is, the other one I have, the all-in-one has. So it's got the same type of blade as this one. It's just like up in that handle like that. And I'm trying to get used to it simply so that this can go in my travel stuff because I can score and cut, and it scores actually really well. That is one thing I will say, like the scoring tool on this with this scoreboard works really well. But like cutting paper with this is just distinctly weird. So, okay, so 5x12 for our spine piece. Our spine is 2x12, of course. So I'm going to use just my 1.5-inch spacer. Okay. And I don't know, somehow with this being like light and then the dark markings, to me, this one is so much easier to see because apparently I'm getting old. No. Well, I am, but that's inevitable. Okay. So 5 inches wide by 12, 2-inch chipboard covered in tape for our spine. So we're good with that. So what I'm going to do next, how did I go around? Sorry, I need to look at my other one. No, okay. All right, so actually that I think was why I had that full thing taped, because I wanted these taped. You know what, it's fine. We're going to use glue. It'll be just fine. Okay. So, as I was saying, you can see I've got that space, so I can use this to get this nice and straight across, but it doesn't end up kind of sitting up on that edge. So that's why I ordered this. That and this one really reminded me of the Martha Stewart one I used to have. Well, I think I still have it. I think my son like painted on it or something, because he at some point wanted to do projects with Mama when he was much younger, and he wanted to be able to score the paper like Mama. So yeah, that's where that came from. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna pull just part of my tape off of this one. So this one's gonna get tape and glue. Should have gone back and watched my own tutorial, huh? Okay, so I'm using the side of my spacer because this is gonna give me 1/8 of an inch to make sure, since I don't have, this isn't going together like I typically would do one of these. We do want it to have that little bit of space there. And then I'm going to put this right back over, and we're going to go to the other side. So this one, it's still going to, kind of sit up on this one side, but that's okay. It's better than like the entire thing being like crazy. And I think that's why I was messing with the smaller score tape and then went, no, it'll be fine. I think that was why. I think I kind of remember having the same issue before. Okay. So, where'd my spacer go? My spacer has disappeared. Okay. So, okay. So, we've got that down. And Actually, I'm going to need another little strip of tape on the back side of this. Let me move this for a minute. Let me grab the 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to go ahead and get all of my backing off. Because we're going to put our cardstock to do our base matting for the outside of this on here with the score tape. That way I don't have to worry about glue lines. I don't have to worry about any of that kind of thing. Okay, so what I need, and I'm going to kind of just fold this and fold this so I can kind of get a little bit of a visual. Where's my bone folder? Of where else I still need adhesive. And then we're going to cover the inside of the spine just like we always do. Okay, so I am going to take one-inch score tape. I'm going to come across like this. There. And do the same thing here. That didn't quite go up to the top, but you know what? It'll be fine. And then I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to take 3/8 inch and run alongside that. Because that will get us about where we need to be. And if you are worried about getting your base cardstock on here straight, you absolutely can only like pull up a tab and like line this up and then start putting it down. You don't have to like pull all the backing off like I did. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, I should have followed my own advice. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of rolling this up. Okay. Like so. And then down. Okay, because then what I can do, where my little tool went, which I stabbed myself in the finger with this thing yesterday and it still hurts. It didn't bleed, surprisingly. But this thing is like super, super sharp. Like it's tiny enough you can't even see it on the camera. But it still is like the best thing for getting the backing off the tape and to get the masking material off of acrylic. It is like the best thing ever. Okay, so I do have a little bit of tape overrun here. All I'm going to do with that is grab my powder tool and I'm just going to go on top of that with my powder tool and it will be just fine. Okay, so there's one. This one I am going to go ahead and get the backing off because it'll be fine. Okay, another full sheet of the craft cardstock. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing again. Okay, and same thing again. I'm kind of half thinking last time I went directly onto the cardstock with the tape, and I did not do that this time, but you know what? It's fine. Everything is on there, perfectly straight. You cannot see it. Like the color of the cardstock and the inside of that chipboard are the same. So, all right, so we're going to cover up our spine just exactly like we normally would. So this is 6 by 12. Again, the back is covered completely in tape. And I don't want to put this one down yet. I want to do these first, I think. Or do I? Does it matter? No, I don't, because we're going to end up building a layout on those for the front and back inside covers. So I don't think it matters. Okay. So again, 12 by 6. We're just going to center it up, run it top to bottom, just like we always would. The only difference being it's not 1/8 of an inch short. Okay. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to work that cardstock down at that gap. And there we go. And again, there we go. And really, this could be your outside. The way this went together, either way would work for your outside. So it is entirely up to you. I think I am actually going to fold mine that way. And then I just need to cover this with cardstock, because even though these are already down, we can still go ahead when we get to this point and do our layouts on the inside here without any problem. So I am going to grab my rolls of tape and my knife, wherever it disappeared to, and we're going to go ahead and prep these. See, this is what happens when I start getting this figured out at lunch and have to go back to work and then come back to it. This is what happens. And when I tell myself, oh no, I remember what I did last time. No, clearly that is not the case. Okay. It's been long enough since I had a brand new roll of tape. I forgot how heavy these are. I literally opened this today. Okay. And again. So I know some people prefer the sheets. You can absolutely glue this down if you want. I just honestly don't want to deal with glue lines. Not that, that really happens with artisan. You don't really see that with artisan cardstock. But still, it's just one of those things, Okay, so that's good. Let me get that out of the way because it's gigantic. All right, so I'm going to lay this flat again. Get my backing off of here. Okay. we go. That went on just beautifully. Okay, let's do our other side. And really, if you do front and back the same way and then figure out which side looks best to fold, that will work too, because it's going together the same way on both sides. Okay, and there we go. All right, front, back, and there's our base. Okay, for our spine, because we did increase, our hinge, because we did increase our spine this time, just to give us, some more room. We don't have to worry so much if we're getting chunky on our layouts or putting, extra flaps or something, because this way you're still getting, your almost 12 by 12 layouts, but you can make them more interactive because they're not going in a page protector. Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with page protectors. I am just not a fan. But again, that's a me problem. So for your hinge, you need a piece that is 5.5 by 11 3/4. Okay. Because we don't want our pages to go absolutely top to bottom, because then if anything is even slightly crooked, putting it together, which it happens to everybody, it'll stick up out of the book. We don't want that. So 11 3/4 by 5, we are going to score this every 1/2 inch. So 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5. Okay. So move that out of the way. I'm going to come in here, and just in case you're newer to this, I can figure out where I've got like a huge mess. I started doing a different book and decided I wanted to do this one first. Okay, so X's will get folded towards each other and glued together. Okay, so 1/2 inch, that's one hinge. Gusset, 1/2 inch, that's our second hinge. Gusset, 1/2 inch, third hinge. Gusset, 1/2 inch, that's our fourth hinge. Okay, so I like to start, especially on one this long, I want to start folding towards the middle. I don't want to start with one of these end pieces. I want to start on an end. And as I fold it over, before I start burnishing, I want to make sure that I am lined up nice and even on both ends. And then I'm going to burnish from the middle out. Okay. I'm going to turn it the other direction. I'm going to fold back. And if you've got a mat or something underneath your surface, use the lines on this to help you make sure everything is nice and even. And we're going to burnish again. Okay, so we were like this. We're going to turn it right side up, and then we're going to fold back. Okay, and then again from the middle out. Okay, there's our first hinge ready to be glued. I'm going to turn it the other side up again. We're going to go to the next hinge over. So again, I'm going to make sure everything's nice and even before I burnish. Turn it around. I'm going to fold back. Make sure everything's nice and even. And burnish this down. Especially turn it right side up and push it back over. And burnish again. Okay, so now we've got two hinges folded up. Okay, pull it back out. We're going to go to this farthest away from us. We're going to fold it over. When you're doing a longer hinge, that's when you really want to, take your time Make sure everything's lining up right. Turn it back over and fold it back towards us. Okay, so there's 3. We're going to put our last one we have not folded away from us. And again, okay, right side up, fold it towards yourself again. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so let's grab the glue. Let's grab my little glue rag, which has apparently also disappeared over here underneath like 6 sets of dies that I'm going to play with, and Lord knows what else. Okay. I am not sure where that went, but that's okay. We're going to use this one. All right. And actually, I don't want to get glue on the brand new cutting mat. So we're going to go back to this since it is a workbench and it's like indestructible. I have barely like scarred this thing up, and Lord knows I'm not always the most careful with it. All right, so we are going to start in the middle again. Doesn't matter which one of your middle ones. And we're going to do our glue. I'm going to fold it over. And then again, we're going to burnish out from the middle. You most likely will have some glue seep out the ends. That's fine. This is why we have our rag. Wipe it off the cardstock. And then you're going to very carefully fold that back and open that up, and then burnish it again. Because this is going to get the underside of that hinge that is now glued together nice and flat. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing on the next inside hinge, the other middle. Okay? Fold it over, out. Okay? And then fold that back out and burnish down from here. Okay? And there's 2. So you're going to do a lot of like turning this over and back and over and back, because that's just how you make a good hinge. Okay. Okay. Burnish and burnish. Fold it over. It's like, where's my other hinge? Whole thing's rolling in on itself. Okay. So I am going to fold them all one direction and burnish. I'm going to flip them back the other direction and burnish again. Always burnishing from the middle out. Okay. Now you're going to want to check your hinge and make sure it's mostly even. If you're off a little bit, it's fine. If you're off a lot, you need to redo it, because otherwise it makes it really weird when you put it in the book and you get pages on there and, you know, all that kind of thing. So what I will do is on the flat side that's going to go down into the book, I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to see where I'm at. I am at 1.5 inches. The top, I am at 1 inch and 9/16, so a 1/16 of an inch difference between the top and the bottom. Middle's an inch and a half, so we're good. 1/16 of an inch is not a big deal. Okay, so I am not going to mat underneath this because my goal with this project is to use just the one paper collection, some embellishments, and some of the my colors that match the paper collection. Okay, so did I buy 2 of these? No, that's the, never mind, that's not that. So there's like 6 my colors that go with this. I have 5 of them. One of them was out of stock, which is not a big deal. I just have the darker red instead of that and the lighter red. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this in the middle. You're going to center it top to bottom, left to right. So I just pinch it like this, turn it over, and get glue on the back. I'm going to be fairly generous without having too much where it's going to seep out, but you want to have enough time to move this if you need to. So you're going to have about 1/8 of an inch top and bottom. You're going to have 1/4 of an inch on each side. So once you get it kind of where it needs to go, make sure I'm not crooked, I will hold it in the middle and then just with my finger, I will burnish. Okay. And then set this aside because we are done with this for the time being. Okay. So let me get my pieces and parts together for our layouts and we can start working on our layouts and our pages. Oh, before we do that, okay, for your pages, you need, I probably have to open another pack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do. Bear with me 1 second. I need another thing of cardstock. You will need 8 sheets of 12 by 12 that we are going to cut down to 11 3/4. So I've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So then the rest of this will go back into my paper holder. So overall, this entire project takes 14 sheets of 12 by 12. So just something to keep in mind. I realize it's a lot, but honestly, it's still less than a lot of the smaller albums I do. So we're going to use the big trimmer. I'm going to take half of these. Oh, see, I told you I was cutting other stuff. It's stuck under the edge. Okay, I'm going to take half of these. I'm going to cut them down to 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. So we don't have quite 12 by 12 layouts, but I don't have slightly bigger cards or chipboard to make it like 12 1/4 by 12 1/4. And if I did, I guarantee you that's exactly how we'd be doing this. But that is not what we have, and that's okay. Okay, so there's half. Did I just have that slide? I think it did. I know better than to do this sitting down. Oh, it's okay. It slid back. Haha, not over. So we're good. Okay. Okay. So we are good there. So let me get our first couple of layouts set up and we will get to putting these together. Okay, so we are going to start by cutting our base pieces for our layouts and our front and back inside layouts, that kind of thing. So I want to set this one aside for the cover. I'm not going to cut this yet because I'm not entirely sure how I want to do it, but I'm going to set this one aside so that I don't cut into it by mistake. So front inside cover. You need a piece of yellow color vibe, well, what is it? Mustard color vibe that is 5.5 by 11 3/4. And then I have a piece of the cornflower color vibe that's actually a scrap off of another piece we're actually going to do in just a second here. That is 1/2 by 11 3/4. Actually, I don't think I cut it down to 11 3/4 yet, but I will. Okay, so that's going to be front inside. First one of the actual pattern papers that we're going to cut is going to be this one. So this is going to be the way I've done my notes on here. We're going to cut 5.5 from the left-hand side. Okay. So I'm going to line this up. Okay. This one I'm going to hang on to because it's going somewhere else. This we are going to cut down to 11 3/4. We're going to put it with this one, and I'm going to clip all of these together. Okay. And set it to the side. Okay. Next one is going to be this piece here. It's got the big flowers on the back, so this is actually the back side. First thing we're going to do, you're going to turn it so that your illustrations are facing to the left, and off this very top part, we are going to cut a strip that is 3 5/8 by 12. So when you cut this, you're going to cut it so it's just above the line on this second box. So that we have this strip right here. So this one I'm going to set aside with my cover piece because I have an idea of what I want to do with this. But I'm going to set that over there with my cover piece. The piece you have left is 8 3/8 by 12. We are going to cut this in half at 6 inches. Okay. Okay. And then you're just going to have to decide which piece, because one of these we're going to use this side, one of these we're going to use this side. So you just need to decide. I think I want to use this one just because it's got Christopher Robin dragging Pooh down the stairs. It's got Pooh climbing the tree. It's just, this is a cute one. So I'm going to set this one aside for right now. This one is going to go this way. And this is going to go on our first full page. So I'm going to take one of my bases. I have a piece of the cornflower that is 11.5 by 11.5. So that's where that 1/2 inch strip came from, is from this. And a piece of the mustard that is 3 by 11.5. Okay, this one goes with it. And we may end up with some other stuff on here. I'm not entirely sure yet. That is not a paper clip that I want. Okay, clip that together, set it aside. Okay, page 2 is going to be our first 2-page layout. Okay, so we've got these 2 pieces that are basically tailor-made to do this with. This one we are going to cut at 7 3/4. Okay. This piece, I'm going to move back to the side. This is going on page 2. So page 2, we're going to have these 2 like so, and we're going to have the red color vibe in between. So that's really going to pick up the red that's on both of those pieces. Gives you good space to put pictures where you're not having to cover up the cute images. So our red are 6 1/4 by 11 1/2 and 7 1/2 by 11 1/2. Okay. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab 2 more of my base pieces, which those I haven't cut to height yet, but that's okay. Clip all of that together and set it aside. Okay. So the leftover piece that we just cut, so this is 7 3/4 by 12. We're cutting this in half at 3 7/8. Okay, like so. We are actually going to use the back side of this. We are going to take this super cute one with the little Winnie the Poohs and the flowers, and we're going to cut this in half at 6 inches. This other half we haven't used yet, so I'm setting that to the other side. And this one I'm cutting in half again at 3 inches. So this will be 3 by 11 1/2 and 3 by 11 1/2. That's for that other piece. There we go. Just so I do not confuse myself any further. Okay. And then again, 11 1/2 and 11 1/2. And then we've got 2 pieces of the brick red that are 3 5/8 by 11 1/2. So we've got those 6 strips will make up our base on our next 2 bases, or next 2 pages, that is. So I'm going to clip all of those together, set them aside. All right, so the next one, this is going to be probably the easiest one. This super cute piece, we are going to cut 5 1/4 off the top, and we are literally going to flip it over. Okay, so there's that one. What did I do? Do I have too many pages? Hold on. What have I done? Am I short one? I might be. No, I know what I did. Front inside. Okay. And that's 1, 2, 3. I need to do one more. I knew I had too much paper left. Okay, back inside cover. We have a piece of avocado color vibe that is 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. And our other piece of this has the big flowers on the back that is 8 3/8 by 6. So I'm going to clip these 2 together and set that one aside. So this is actually, this one will face this one. Okay. And I have got to do my other 2. So let me get those figured out. I'll be right back. Okay, so 6 and 3, 9, 10, 11, 2 and a half. 'Restarted. Okay, I'm not sure when I bumped things and stopped recording, but all we are doing right now, and if I didn't actually stop until just a second ago, then great. Somehow I don't think that's what happened. Um, all I'm doing is just adhering down our base pieces, except this one because we're going to tuck some of the tag cut aparts and things underneath this. So I've got this just on here with the temporary adhesive, just so I don't lose it or misplace it. So that much is pretty much ready to go to start building up our layout. Um, and so we're just putting our base papers on our base pages. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. So our next one, we've got our 11 and 3/4 11 by 11 and 3/4 cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put my 11.5 by 11.5 corn flour down on top of that. This one is going to go right here, and this one's going to go like this, okay? So super easy, and then we've got our base for this one done. I'm going to have to fill up my glue here in a minute because it's just about empty. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to put that about right there. I actually meant to do it without the polka dots up. That's okay. It will be fine. This one I'm also going to use just that little bit of temporary on, since I'm not sure ultimately what all is going to go on that page. And that one can be moved to the side. Okay, so our next one is our first of the 2-page. Yes, okay. Making sure I had everything right. Okay, so this is going to go, they will face each other like so. So that's what I'm trying to decide. Do I do them? Oh, these need trim too. Dang it. There's my bigger one. Okay. Yep. I think we're going to go with my original plan. Since I didn't trim the top off of this yet. Okay. All right. So we're going to go like so. And like so. Oh, I need to refill my glue. I know I paused the camera for a reason. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Much better. All right, so let's go ahead and get these glued down. I'm actually going to do this one first. No, I do want the polka dots up, so polka dots, the tone untone dots. I like them. They're cute. Okay. Oh, much better. We have working glue again. Okay. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go ahead and do this one. Okay. Let's get it turned the right way. That would help, huh? Okay. All right, so that one is all set. Set that one aside. Grab our next 2-page. Okay, so this one, we've got 3 different little strips we're working with here. And I envisioned doing it like, kind of like so. Did I cut my red ones wrong? Did I do wrong math? I totally did. You know what though? It's okay. Because I think what we're gonna do is I think I want to do it that way. Kind of at an angle, back and forth. And then we'll do photo mats so that they're kind of tucking, if that makes sense. Decide if I want to do it that way or if I want Pooh at the top and the red in the middle. Yep, I think that's exactly what I want. So like that. But because I'm going to be tucking things, I don't want to glue this one down yet. So we are just going to restack this one and clip it back together and deal with it after I figure out the rest of the layout. Okay, so then that one goes there. Our last double page is our map. And it's going to go in the middle. And we're going to put our bees to the center. And then our red plaid on the outside edge. So I'm going to start with my bees. Okay. And I'm going to put this one on the other side. I'll get this one down in the middle. Because this one will slightly, you know, if I could put it down straight, Okay. Slightly overlap, like barely, like a hair. And if I decide I don't like that line like that, I can literally take, because we've got this bigger strip, I could actually cut this one in half, and we could do another strip over there to just kind of make that flow across, but I don't know that I need to. I think it's okay. Again, once I start designing the elements and stuff on here, which I have not done yet, we're kind of filming this one as I go, which is absolutely not how I normally do this. But it's layouts, and layouts can often be a struggle for me. I don't know why, although I'm much better. Like when I very first started paper crafting, I would get so stressed out over trying to do a layout. And I mean, one single page layout would take me hours and hours and hours, because I spent so much time worrying about if it was exactly perfect, and did I do this the way I wanted, and did I do this the way I really wanted, and I just made myself absolutely crazy with it. And somewhere along the line in the last few years, I think probably doing mini albums, because I mean, I'm essentially doing layouts. They're just not layouts that aren't layouts. Does that make sense? Okay, those two are good. Clip them back together. And then our last single page. Ugh. Oh, this one I do need to trim, because it is not 11 and a half. Off this end. Okay. And 11 and a half. I don't know why I didn't trim that before I did it, but there you go. Okay. So this one, super easy. The only thing I had not decided is if I'm putting this up here and this down here. Like so. Or the other way around. No, I think I like it better the other way. Or split this in half and run this across the middle and do half and half. No, I think I like it at the top. Okay, that was harder than it needed to be. So let's go ahead and put this one down first. I just love this plaid on the back of this page, but I love the front of this page. And this is why I buy like 17 sheets of everything, because I literally can never decide. And why I typically don't mat anything on camera, because I just can't make up my mind. Okay, we're actually going to trim half an inch off of this. Like so. There we go. Because it doesn't need to overlap. It's fine. Okay. All right. So our bases are pretty much set up, ready to go. And next up, we'll do our page elements and our decorating and get them in the book. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting our layouts together. So we're going to do the front and back inside cover first, and then we're going to do the front cover. So for the left-hand side here, We've got 4 photo mats, one kind of oversized because we're going to use one of our scraps here and just run this down the side, which I didn't cut that one yet. I forgot last night. I've got 3 of the tags that I've used some twine out of my stash that I don't even know how long I've had, but this one, it matched quite nicely actually with the collection itself. There we go. That's what's wrong. I was like, why is it like weirdly dark on one side? So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I've just put stuff down with like temporary adhesive just so that I could get it kind of like the layout finalized. So for these 3 mats, we're going to just do glue on 3 sides to make them into a pocket because that's where these little tags are going to go. Okay. And if you are using the temporary adhesive, it does just like rub off the back and like wherever it is you put it down. Sometimes there's like, I don't know, you probably can't see it on the camera. You have to be kind of careful because sometimes it will take some of that ink from the printing of the paper off. So you don't want to leave it sitting for a long time for that reason. Okay. So really, like, me leaving this overnight was probably not the best idea, but it was late and that's just how it went yesterday. Okay, one other thing that I want to talk about is this paper collection has been insanely popular. So I was looking last night to see what was still available at CCC, and there's not a lot. I don't know if she's reordering it. I'm looking to see if I can like find it other places, but she might be reordering it. This one has been so popular and it's so cute. So these photo mats, since I forgot to tell you, are 3.5 by 3.5. The bigger one over here is 6 by 7, but that's because we're going to add that little strip to it. So let me grab my trimmer really quickly. Cut this down. I knew there was something I was looking at last night going, I'm missing something here. Okay, as far as the Color Vibe cardstock, I have used 2 sheets of red, one of brick red, one of mustard, one of avocado, and one of cornflower, which is this blue. And I don't have its little strip because I actually cut it apart to use it somewhere else. So just in case you're wondering, that's, and I'll link all of this, of course, in the description box. So far, I have not used any of the stickers from the collection kit. So there are things, of course, you could substitute in doing these layouts. And of course, you may want to do your own layouts. You may just want like the base process on this. And I totally get that. So I'm using the foam stickers throughout here. I'm using like one of the big bits and one of the page pieces. And I'm using a couple of the chipboards from the Brads. And I know the Brads, like Simple Stories is out of the Brads. So that one's not going to be an option. Okay. And then we're going to take our little, I believe this is a 1/2 inch. Yes, 1/2 inch strip of the cornflower Color Vibe. And I'm going to put that about 1/4 inch over. And I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring. Okay. And then we've got another one of the foam stickers. And I am going to glue these down. I wouldn't normally, but like their foam stickers lately have not been quite as sticky as normal. At least that's what it feels like to me. So yeah, I am going to glue those down. So then your little tags, which of course you can journal on the back of or whatever, if nothing else, they just add a cute little element, are going to stick out like that. Okay. So for this back inside, we've taken the tags. I've got 7 of the tags. I've got the one that runs landscape, and then I've got 2 of the non-directional, and then the rest of them are just the normal tags just flipped over. I found a top on them that I liked, and that's what we're going to do there. This is the rest of that 6 by, I believe it was 8 3/8 piece. That's got the big flowers on the back. So yeah, 6, I think it was, yep, 8 3/8. So that one we're just going to glue down over here and leave it as is. We're not going to add any other photo mats to it. And I've got like one other page, I think, that I did something kind of similar with, just because I didn't mean to go that far over. Just because I kind of liked how that came out. So I've got some of the foam stickers here. And I'm not sure where I actually ultimately want those. So what I've done is I've got my twine on all 7 of my tags. I'm going to start with the ones that come up here. These all have a thin foam tape on the back, just to give it some dimension, because the whole point in widening the spine and giving us a little bit more space here was to be able to do that. So I'm going to put the top one down, and then I'm going to put the bottom one down, because I am really bad when it comes to layouts with, like, I don't measure when I'm trying to space stuff out, which, is probably not the best idea, but that's just how I do it. So when I have like elements like this where I'm trying to line them up, I'll do the top and the bottom and then come in and figure out exactly where my middle ones need to sit and then put those down so that I don't end up with too much space, top or bottom. As I say that and then almost do it anyway. So these are coming up almost exactly with the edge of this mat. This is 1/4 of an inch in from the matting on this back inside cover. Okay. And then we're going to go like that. This blue Pooh corner one is going to go, it's like a railroad ticket, is going to go on top in the middle here. And it has a thicker foam tape on the back of these 3 so that they have different heights as you're putting them down. And because do I want him down here? No, I want him up there. Because the way these are spaced, you don't need to put anything in that middle section. And this is like some fairly beefy foam tape that I had in my drawer, so it works. All right. Trying to not get my tails of my tags under there. Okay, so then we just need to figure out, I think we are going to put that at the bottom. I think I like it better at the bottom. Okay, and then we're just going to add the 2 little hearts up at the top. Okay, and I used about half of the foam stickers. I've got, about half of them, because I'm doing an actual album with this as well, and that's what I'd actually started working on and then kind of set it aside to do this. So let me grab, I've got like all of these laid out behind me, actually sitting on top of the Glowforge. Okay, so here is my plan with the front cover. So we've got that strip that we kept that's got the different little story panels on it. So this frame fits perfectly on these two panels, and it's so cute because we've got Pooh and Piglet and we've got Christopher Robin. So that's how that's going to work. This is just two of the journaling cut aparts. So we still need to cut this down. So this, of course, is 12 by 12. Oh, I did miss a piece. Hold on. Let's go back. I was like, something looked off and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it was that. So this is one of the chipboards from the Brads. That's what was wrong. I didn't get any twine on that. And you know what? It'll be fine. There we go. I knew I was missing something. It literally was like slid off to the side here. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Totally off track here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get my branding strip off. This was a hard one because I loved this side and I loved the flowers on the other side, but I needed to use this side. So what we are going to do, we need to take just a tiny bit off of this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a 1/16 of an inch off. And I would probably be better to do this with the big trimmer, but we're going to risk it. Okay. So that's 1/8 of an inch off of each side. You can do the same thing here. Because then we leave the cute stitching feature on this page, and we leave, the flowers and Winnie the Pooh and the whole bit, like, all, whole. Okay. All right, so that is how we're going to do that. Slide this up and over. Okay. All right, so this one is going to go down on our cover, like so. Okay. There we go. All right, so then this piece I kind of want at an angle. So I am going to take 1/4 of an inch off of each end. So this was 3 5/8. And the reason it's 3 5/8 is I wanted to get just underneath the longest part of the little story panels. Okay. So that's why it's a weird height. Okay. So that should be enough where we can put it at an angle. And I do want to pop this entire piece up. I'm debating if I want to mat underneath it, and I really think I do. So I do not have any big pieces of okay. So we're going to use one more sheet of the avocado. So that was 3 5/8. So let's go. Let's go 3 7/8. Let me see if that's going to end up being too big, because how wide is this? 11 1/2. That's 11 3/4. Okay. Nope, I think I need it to just be 1/8 of an inch bigger. I think otherwise it's going to kind of throw it off. So we're going to go, instead of 11 3/4, we're going to go 11 5/8 by 3 3/4. Okay. All right. Because I really do want to leave this like one whole piece. I think that's going to be better. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to glue this to its mat. I think I am going to flip it over so it's the solid side, not the dotted side. Okay. All right, so I do want foam tape clear across the back of this. So do I have, or is it too wide? So there was like a huge roll of tape at CCC, and I don't know where mine has disappeared to. It's not in its drawer where it's supposed to be. Did I move it when I was... Well, hopefully I didn't move it. Because if I did, I don't know where I moved it to. Yeah, there's no way it's in those drawers. It's too wide. All right, I don't know what I... Oh, wait, is it in with the stamps? Which I may find this and go, no, it's too wide. So we'll figure this out in a second, won't we? Nope, it is not with the stamps. So, we're going to have to use different tape, because that is just insane. I have no idea where that could have ended up at, because it literally only fit in that one drawer. That is insane. I don't know where I would have moved that to. And I know I haven't used it all. Oh, there it is. It got moved. It did get moved. All right, and I think it's too wide. So all of that for nothing. Yep, it's too wide. Okay, so that's not gonna, because I really don't want to cut that apart into multiple pieces. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the two. Okay, where's my frame? There's my frame. Okay, I have an idea. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this. I'm going to cut this so that I isolate the top panel, or the center panels, that is. I still got these, And then I've got this one that the frame is going to go on. Okay. What we're going to do is I'm picking up things with the book that I don't want to. What we're going to do is these two panels, we are going to use a thinner foam tape. Okay. So I'm going to take the thin stuff and get it on the back. We're going to use the thicker stuff on the middle one. And then we will probably run some thin around the top of that frame, or the inside of that frame, underside of the frame. I know what I promise. Okay. And really, by doing this, I could push them in just a touch. So let's get one positioned, and then we'll worry about the other one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put him over here like so. This goes in between, and then this guy goes over here. Okay. And with this, I'm actually going to, because I know I'm going to get this so screwed up if I don't lay this out flat. I am going to use this just to get it lined up on this other end. Okay, there we go. All right, so then this piece, we're going to use the thicker foam tape. To raise it up above those two little panels. Like so. And then our frame goes on top of this one. And what I'm going to do is find, I know I've got like thinner strips here somewhere because they're for like shakers. There they are. Okay, so I'm going to use a thin foam tape along the bottom. So if you wanted to put your own picture in there, you still could. And then okay, there we go. And then this is going to go down on top of here, Assuming I position these right, I think these side ones need to come in just a tiny bit. I don't think they were over. They were over too far. Okay. I am going to add just a teensy bit of glue on these side ones. Only because I did pull that up and reposition it. So, okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so the other two pieces that I had for this are both just little spots from the journaling cut aparts. I was going to put this little guy kind of up like so, and this little guy down here. But I think I'm going to slide them out to the side like that, and they are going to just go down flat. So if there was anything else you wanted to add on here, I may look at the brads because I haven't used any of the brads themselves. I've just used the little chipboards that come on the brads. So I sincerely hope all of you that end up watching this ordered a bunch of this paper because it's so cute. So, so cute. Okay. All right, so where did I put? There they are. So I think I am going to put a little cluster up here. I think I want that flower just to mimic the flowers down here. And I want a heart to pull in some of that color. And then we're going to do one of these small colors. I think we're going to do that darker kind of dusty blue. Okay, there's your cover. All right, I'm going to move this whole thing aside. I'm going to grab our next set of our next page, which is, I think it's this one. Yes. Yep, it's this one. Okay. All right. So again, this is all tacked down with temporary adhesive. I haven't glued anything yet. So this is the other one where we're going to take that piece just kind of as is and glue it down. And then I've just got a couple of the cut aparts, a 4x6, and then one of the journaling that I have matted. So this is again the 8 3/8 by 6, 8 3/8 by 6, if I could talk. And we're just using the cute flower side this time. And I'm just going to center that on our strip here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and mat our cut apart. So this one was 3x4. So my matting for behind it is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 because I do want those bigger borders this time. Man, that temporary adhesive gets insane after it sits overnight. This is going to drive me nuts. Okay. And I did it to myself. Okay, so that guy's going up there. This one's going to go down at the bottom. So this is a 4x6 cut apart. So my matting for this one is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And this one's just going to kind of come down here. I think we do want to pop these up though. That was what I was, what's on the opposite side of this? Yes, we can pop these up. I was trying to make sure there was nothing that's going to catch on the other side. So I'm going to use my thinner tape again. I think these are the only ones I didn't like. I don't know. Maybe I didn't pre-foam it anything else. I don't know. I remember it was a weird day yesterday. That's all I got to say. Okay. And then this guy, we're going to use the thicker stuff, which I didn't think I was going to like as well as I do. And I'm going to have to get some more of this. Okay, so this one's going to come in like so. This one's going to go up here. And then this is going to go about there. Yeah, okay. All right, so let me get the backing off of these. Actually, I think I'm going to come over a little bit more. Okay. And this one. Actually, I think I want to put that one. I like it better that way. Okay. And then we're going to do our foam. Okay. And then we're going to use the heart. I don't think I meant the bees to go on this one. I think the bees are supposed to go on another page. And I don't think I trimmed them off of here. So I'm going to set that aside because pretty sure this does not actually go on that page. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to just flip that upside down over here. Okay. We're going to do the one I struggled with the most next. Okay, first of the 2-page layouts. So I ended up adding a 1-inch by 11.5-inch strip of the back side of the 3x4 cut apart. So that's where this plaid comes from, just because it needed something else. And I added a 1/4-inch strip of the avocado color vibe, which is why I didn't have the branding strip, because this came off the very bottom of the branding strip on one of these. So this is kind of how this one's going to go together. And it's all kind of shifted as it was sitting off to the side here, because I know we had done the 3 strips earlier, and my intention was to kind of be able to tuck things underneath them. So this one, we're going to move one of these completely off to the side for now. Okay, moving that over here. And these 3 up here. So again, I've got temporary adhesive. I'm going to start with this bottom piece. I'm going to add glue on the sides and on the bottom. And then we're going to put it down, because we're going to leave the top of it open, because we're going to tuck a couple things in there. And this is one of these where if you wanted to add more pictures on their own mats, this will allow you to kind of tuck them in, because we're kind of making it pockets almost. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so then our next one, we're going to do the exact same thing. And we are doing this with the solid side up. If you want to use the dot side, go right ahead. Make sure you've got it facing the right direction, and then just line it up right against the top edge of the piece below it. Okay. So these two we're both leaving as kind of pseudo pockets. The top two we are going to glue down entirely because nothing's getting tucked in these. So this one we can go ahead and do glue on all four sides. Go ahead and pull that guy up so I don't accidentally glue on him where I don't want to. This one's going to go right on top of the one below it. And then do our 1-inch strip. Okay, so now we are going to work on getting our pieces kind of tucked in where we want them to go before we adhere anything down. Okay, so the idea here is we want those angles. Okay, and we're not really popping anything up on this. Right here, these pieces are going to we're going to tuck and glue just like flat. Okay, so this guy goes in like so. This guy goes down in this corner. And you could leave this one unglued so you could pull it up and like journal on it if you wanted to. I'm just going to put it in there like that. Okay. And this guy is going to go up here above. Okay. So then for our photo mat, we're going to do the same type of thing. So I guess really we didn't need to leave this one too open because you're not really going to be able to access it. It's just going to be this bottom one, which is fine. This one we are popping up. I have already prepped it. Told you I did some of them. But that was mostly because this one, man, I was struggling with this one. I did not like any option I came up with. And I do like this better this morning than I did last night, so I suppose that's a good thing, right? Ah, no, come back here. Do not fall on the floor, please. Okay, so this one came from the Big Bits. This is going to go just like that. And this little tag, I did not put any twine on, and my twine has been put away. So that's okay. What I'm going to do is take just some normal foam squares on this one. And we want this, I want to pop this up, but I don't want to like seal off my pockets. So I want them, because it's got this cute little grid on the back, I can kind of visually see where I need to stop my foam tape. And then too, where the top of this isn't tacked down, I can come back later on if I want to and kind of lift it up and put my twine on. But I think it'll be okay. All right, the last thing we're going to put down is just our green strip that is going to run the full 11 3/4. I did not trim it down height-wise. And that's going to go right down this edge about 1/2 inch in. Okay. All right, so there's that one. The other one, I have reversed where our pieces are going. So Pooh is at the bottom here. Pooh's going to be at the top on this one. Okay. So again, I'm just going to slide my stuff kind of off to the side about where it needs to actually go down. This one, we're going to leave this bottom strip as our, little kind of fake pocket that kind of works. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, so I've got glue just on the bottom and the sides, and I'm going to line this up. Try to get it as even as I can, which I am working on a tool to help with that. But I'm not ready to show you just yet. I'm still testing it. But I think it's going to be pretty cool. Okay. This one I'm going to glue down in its entirety because we've got pieces that are going to go kind of on top of it that aren't really getting tucked into it. So like this one is getting tucked in. This one is getting tucked in. Actually, this one might be getting tucked in up here, but we can tuck it behind the little Be Happy and it'll be fine. Okay. All right. We're going to glue this guy down. And again, we're going all the way up against the piece before it. Like so. And let's grab our little Pooh Bear piece. All right. So first one we're going to put in on this one is going to be our photo mat because it's going to kind of go down here at the bottom like so. I didn't give you the sizes on these, did I? They're just 5 by 7, nothing fancy. That just dawned on me. We had sizes on everything else except these because we'd already done the rest of this. Okay, so that's going to go there. This one we're going to tuck in like so. Okay. This one, our strip's going to go down this side, which means I do need to actually move this guy over just a touch because I don't want part of that top corner over here hanging out. Okay. This one, I tell you exactly how we need to do this, and then what do? Glue things down. Then I needed to leave a little bit open so we could put the other element in there. Okay. So there's our journaling spot on this one. This piece is just going to kind of sit on top here. So we're going to pop him up. Okay. We've got our tag that I think we're going to I'm going to cut a little kind of angled sliver off of this just so I can get it on here the way I want, because it is going to go flat. Okay. And then our strip, and then we can do our foam title at the top. And again, this little strip is 1/4 of an inch. And then this is from the page pieces. And this one I did pre-foam. Okay, there we go. So that is our first of the 2-page layouts. Okay, we grab our next one. Okay. All right, this one was a fun one. Okay, so we have got 2 5x7 mats. We've got 5, I believe these are 3x3. Where have I now lost my, there it is. Yes, 3x3 mats. This is where the rest of my bees go. I knew. I knew that wasn't right. Okay, so first thing we're going to put down is this photo mat on this side, and it's going to go in this upper left corner. And I'm going about 1/2 inch or so in, 1/2 inch or so down. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and put down our mats right here. And with these, I was trying to, or not trying, I'm kind of using the graphics on this center strip as a guide so that I'm not like covering things up that I don't want to cover up. So like we've still got, the house there and whatnot. I've got some of the flowers from the floral bits and pieces we're going to add. There's a bee. Here's our other bees. And this is one of the journaling cut-aparts. And this one is 3 by, because the journaling cut-aparts are all different sizes. So this is 3 by 4 5/8. So this is 3 1/4 by 4 7/8 for our mat for it. So I think in addition to the cardstock that we used to construct this, I think I ended up using like 3 more sheets. I don't know. I was pulling from a scrap pile for part of it. So, I don't remember for sure. I know I pulled at least 2 full sheets out and then I was pulling scraps. So maybe only 3 sheets. Because I think there's 4 5x7 in here, and you can get the 4 5x7 from 1 sheet. Okay, so I'm going to add foam tape to the back of this one. Except I don't want to put it on that very, very top inch or so. I mean, I want it there, but I don't want it sticky. So we're going to powder the very top inch of that and put that down. Eeyore down here is a chipboard. So we're going to glue him down. We're not going to add any more dimension to him. And I'm literally putting him on top of the Eeyore that's on the paper itself. And then we're going to pop these up with just normal foam squares. I was like, I knew I had tiny ones here somewhere. Okay. Okay, so does this have a right way? I think it's like that. Okay, so this one is going to go up here. This one's going to kind of go in between. We're going to pop up this little bee. Over here. And then we're going to use the little foam bees somewhere in a minute. I don't know where yet. All right, so then on this side, let's go ahead and put our photo mat down, our big mat, that is. Ugh. And apparently get glue all over our hand because of course we are. And again, I'm just going to kind of mirror the placement over here. So it's about half an inch in, half an inch up from the bottom, whereas on this side we were up at the top. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and glue this guy to his mat. And this cut apart, I believe, was just a 3x4. I don't think this one was a weird size, but we'll measure it just in case. And I did use probably 2/3 of the pieces from that journaling page. Yeah, so this is actually 3x15/16, but we're just going to go, oh, and I did actually do the mat in the same increment because apparently I'm crazy. But if you've been following me for any length of time, you already know that. Yeah. Okay. He's going to go up there. All right, so then we can go ahead and put down our 3 mats over here. So I do want to line these up side by side because I want these kind of spaced about the same way that they are here. So about the same amount of space in. And then center this guy. Okay. So then this little guy is going to go down here at the bottom. And because he is a chipboard, we're just going to glue him down. We're not going to add any additional dimension to him. We're going to put a foam square on the back of this bee. And put him over here. This flower, I think, is going to kind of come in out there. I was going to pull out the dies. The dies that go with this collection were done by Spellbinders for Simple Stories. So they're super high quality. And Spellbinders, or not Spellbinders, Simple Stories typically has not done dies. Okay, so then this is another one of the chipboards, so we're just going to run that one up across the top there. Yeah, they really haven't done dies up to this point. So, and this one I am going to add some foam squares too, because I do want it to kind of stand up a little bit more. And the fact that they partnered with Spellbinders, and apparently they're doing this with lots of collections, because I've seen dies for, what's the one that just came out? Was it Tea Garden? Or one that was coming out? I don't remember now. I've seen them for another collection, and they were very nice and they were very cute. So just something to consider. I will be doing something with those dies later on, probably on the in fact, I know for a fact I'm using them on the album that I've got in the works too, that I put aside to do this one, because at the moment this one sounded like more fun. Because that's how this goes sometimes. So okay, so we're going to put that guy up there. And apparently that's where he's going to go, because he's stuck. So that's our next layout. We're on our last 2-page, and then we have one more single page, which is a super simple one that we're not adding a whole lot of dimension to, because we added dimension with the tags that are going on the page facing this one. And then we can go ahead and put these into our book and we'll be finished. Okay, so this little guy, and like I said, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I was going to use bees. We'll think about the bees some more. We're just going to think about the bees. Okay, so this one, we are going to go ahead and glue our mats down. So I have a 4x6 and a 4x4 on this side, and then 2 4x6 on the other side. So of course, if you wanted to do way more pictures, I mean, you guys know, change it up. Make the project fit what you need it for. You know, there's no like hard and fast rule. There's no, you know, this is how you have to do these things, because that's absolutely not the case. I mean, it's the same thing with any of the mini albums. You know, decorate it how you want it. As a designer and, you know, somebody teaching and doing tutorials with the mini albums. Okay, so foam tape on this journaling cut apart. You know, I want you guys to change them up and, you know, mix and match and whatever the case may be. Okay, so this one is the chipboard from the chipboard sheet. That's right, this one needed another piece and I didn't get that far. That's what it was. I knew there was something that I was missing on this one. So we are going to add another chipboard on this one. We're going to add this little guy and we are going to pop him up. So I'm going to get a little piece of the thin foam tape. that we're going to tuck down there. And then put him like so. But yeah, like I love seeing, when you guys make projects that I've designed in other papers. I love when you switch something around because like one element didn't work for you and you wanted to do something different. It's very, very gratifying to see that when that happens and that, something that I enjoy doing, is causing other people to enjoy doing it too, if that makes sense. So, okay. All right, so these two are going to kind of go like this. And these are also, I think I said that already, 4x6. Like this. And then we're going to put this little chipboard down here, but we are going to pop him up. And I am just going to use normal foam squares on the back here. I probably didn't even need that many because it's a chipboard and they, it's a chipboard. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Okay, so that one's going to go there. This guy, we're actually not doing it as a pocket. I'm actually going to glue this to the back of this cut apart because I just want that little tag piece sticking up. And I'm actually going to kind of do it off to one side. And then we're going to pop him up. Well, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, we'll be okay. We're going to pop him up over here with, again, the big foam tape. This one I probably could have used the giant roll for because it would be about the right width. But we're not going to do that. Okay, and we're going to go just like that. And there we go. That one is all good. All right, last one. And since this one is going to be the last page of the album and faces the back page of the back cover of the book that has the popped up tags, this one's going to be super simple. So we have foam stickers. We have I believe 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 photo mats that we're going to put across the bottom here. Nothing earth shattering. Super simple. And then we can put this all together and finish it off. Okay. All right, so top corner, we'll be friends forever. Foam sticker. I'm kicking myself. I did not buy 2 sets of the foam stickers because I have a feeling I'm going to be really mad at myself when I go to decorate the other album I'm doing with this paper. Okay, so that's going to go up there. Down here, we've just got 2 of the flowers from the foam stickers that we're going to do about like so. And then down in this bottom corner, we're going to do the other one. Like so. And then this is one of the chipboards from the Brad's. And that one's going to just go right there. And that's it. That's all of it. Okay, so now, at this point, where's my cover? There it is. we need to figure out the order that we want these to go in. So I know I want this one as the back page facing this, okay? We need a 2-page, which I want this one more towards the front. So I think this guy is going to go here. My middle 2-page is going to be this one. So I'm facing them towards each other. First 2-page is going to be this guy. And then this is our front first page after our inside cover. Okay, so we've got those stacked. So if we were flipping through the book, we've got that, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so make sure you've got them in the order you want. They're all faced the right way, stacked up, ready to go. Slide that out of the, actually I'm going to move that completely out of the way for right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our first two. If you want to work back to front, front to back, it doesn't matter. I'm going back to front. Okay. I am going to tap this on my desk, line up my edges, because what we're going to do is we are going to glue these two together. However, we still have to put this side on our hinge. So if we're going front to back, it's going to be this side. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do glue around my outside edges, and I'm going to leave about an inch unglued. Okay. So I'm going to double check. I'm right side up. I'm right side up. And this is where we are going to tap, make sure they're aligned, tap, and then press down. Very carefully, making sure we don't move anything. Okay. So temporary adhesive on places. Okay. That one's ready to go. We've got a gap on this end that we will use to glue it to our hinge. Okay, set that one aside. Go to our next one. So this is going to be the other half of that. Okay, I need this end with no glue. So I'm going to go again. Okay, get my next one. Tap, tap, press it down. Now, could we have put these in before we built and decorated our layouts? Absolutely. However, I didn't know which order I wanted them to go in. I didn't know for sure what elements I was going to be putting on them. So for me, it was easier to go ahead and build the pages and then put them together and put them in the book, which is not how I normally do my books, but I have done it on a few of them here in the last couple of months. And I kind of am understanding better why a lot of people do that. But I live in abject fear of like gluing something in upside down because I absolutely will do that. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so there's our next one and our last one. Okay. Okay. Tap. Okay. These are all ready to go in our book. Okay, so there's our 4-page assemblies. Let's grab our book. Okay. I do want to use my hinge spacers. Okay. So if you are unfamiliar, these are my 1/2-inch hinge spacers. And I need to see, because I don't know that I've tried to use them on something that's like totally decorated like this. Okay. So I'm going to lay them on there, slide them all the way in. Okay. Same thing. Kind of thread my pages on here, lay it down, push it all the way in, and push them down. Okay. Then I can peel this back. I am not doing glue all the way along. I am just doing it top and bottom, because what I'm going to do, slide this on here, get it lined up top to bottom, and then I'm going to pinch just where I have the glue. Okay. This way you're not trying to burnish it down all the way across the length of the hinge. Okay. We're getting these corners tacked down and adhered. So I'm just going to hold them for a minute and give them time to dry, and then we'll move on to the next one. After we've removed our spacers, then we can lay these down flat, take the tiny tip on your glue bottle and put it in that gap and seal off the rest of that hinge. Okay? And these might be small enough where they're going to lay down on me. Maybe not. That is the one thing I have not figured out exactly how to overcome, is when it wants to lay over on you like this, which, I mean, it can, except then it's trying to unglue on that corner, and I don't want it to do that. Okay. And this one, they may be thin enough that this is not going to work as well as I would hope. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit tricky to try and use these, and I think it's just because they're so long. Because I think the longest I've used these with is probably a 10 by 10. So we are going to do this old school, the way 99% of you do this, because not all of you have bought my hinge spacers yet. They're awesome. You should. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, assuming any glue actually came out. There we go. That time it did. Let's go ahead and burnish that down. You could also, instead of adhering these all together, do one page front and then do the back side of it, and that would actually work too. It is entirely up to you. And again, this is in large part because of the size of these pages that it's going to be a little bit different process to get these in. Okay. All right. So this time I think I am going to go back to like kind of a more old school method. In that, I am going to put the glue on the hinge itself. Because it's not like we're leaving these open top or bottom to put inserts in, because that would just be insane. Okay, there we go. Okay, that actually worked really well for this one. Big, I think I remember running into this when I did the other one too. And honestly, I might have actually just glued them one at a time, like front page, flip it over, back page, and glue the whole thing together at once. I don't remember. It feels like that was a long time ago. And it was like, what, October? Um, oh my gosh. Okay. This one we're going to have to go this way because there we go. Okay. And this way. All right, last one. Okay. There we go. So, similar thing to what I had, oh, come on. What I had done with the Halloween one that I did with the Doodlebug. I did not mat my back cover. Again, because I was trying to keep this to one paper collection. So you're not having to try and source multiple pieces of paper. I know CCC at the time of this upload does still have the collector's edition packs available that have the chipboards, like the 12 by 12 with the stickers, the chipboards and page pieces, chipboards, page pieces, and I believe it's the floral bits that come as one package. So I will link that in the description box, but I probably will use a strip of, not that one, where'd it go? The one I have left, this one, to cover my spine. And then I might just take like that entire strip and just put it across the back of this, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so there you go. That is our Winnie the Pooh layout album. So super fun, not terribly difficult. You're just basically building your base and then doing your layouts. No pockets, no flaps, nothing fancy. And there you go. As always, thank you for watching. I am trying to get myself on a better schedule to post more regularly. It does get kind of hard. I do have a full-time job and a 12-year-old and a website, and I have news coming on that soon. But so yeah, I'm trying to be better this year. That is my goal this year. To work through the bin of shame, which has been cut down significantly in this whole period of the Glowforge being dead, couldn't add things to the website, couldn't, in order to fight the depression and the stress, I have been busting through the bin of shame pretty well this year so far. But I have lots of new things coming. So just like, follow, ring the bell if you want notifications when I post something new. And as always, thank you for your love and your support, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.